Twitch chat, and YouTube. It is finally time. It is time for Justin to be finally canceled after we make this tier list of vintage Magic the Gathering online players. We're going to take the 60 players that Twitch chat told me are the best players on Magic the Gathering online. And I'm going to put them in a tier list based on their both play that I have versus them and their results. Preface. This is all in good fun and in for content. I don't want anyone to feel bad if they get put in D tier. If somebody puts you on this list, it means that somebody in Twitch chat thought you were one of the best players on Magic the Gathering Online. So, please, no hurt feelings. If you want, you can make fun of me for going 1-5 today in this event. Let's get into it. The first thing we need to do, and get out of the way immediately, is you need to take Discoverin and put them in S tier. And then after you do that, you go, wait a second, this means that we're only going to have one person in S tier. That can't be the case. Add a row above SS tier, Discoverin. Okay, now we have a better place. Now we have a better starting point here. This is this SS tier, also known as Discoverin tier. No one else will be in this tier. Z? No, SS is better than Z. What do you want Z? What do you want Z? What is Z? Why would you see Z? I don't know. Chat probably Twitch chatting me. All right, so like this isn't an opinion, I don't think. This is just a fact. Discoverin is the best player on Magic Online in terms of vintage. They are far and away the most winning. It's just not close. They have like double the next highest. It's incredible. And obviously, I played plenty of matches versus Discoverin at this point, and they managed to win the game in so many places that I would have no idea how they managed to do it. Their Doomsday piles are incredible. They seem to manage to play around cards that I didn't even know exist. I'll top deck a card, and I'm like, damn, there's no way they played around this, and then they did. They just happened, they just did it. So, Discoverin is the best player on Magic Online in terms of the vintage, so I think that's very easy placement in the SS tier. So now we have to think about how these other tiers line out. I'm thinking our S tier is probably going to be placed for players who you never want to face, who have high chances of winning every event, who are the real like end bosses. And then A tier will be players who have good chances of winning an event, regulars who put up great results, B tier, and then so on and so forth. Maybe we don't need an S tier, SS tier. Can we just use an S tier? I don't know if I need 3 tiers of extra people. I think we don't need it. I think maybe we'll actually be fine. Maybe we'll be fine with just Discoverin in the S tier. All right. So let's start with a good placement. Should we start with myself? Karate's in chat. Karate, Karate, you think that you are an S tier? What is Karate's results from 2020? Let's take a quick look on the side for 14. Okay, 14 top 32s. Not more than 6 top 8s. Oh, okay. Where'd your name go? Actually, I lost myself. Karate. B, C. Though I guess if we're gonna have people like Jacob on this list, we gotta leave some room at the bottom, right? Maybe we should have. I wish I had a mod in chat. Do I have a mod in chat? If they could do polls, I think polls would be dope as well. So you see, I clearly planned this content. I clearly have this content planned. I could see Karate being a B, but maybe we'll move Karate to a C near the end. We'll see how we gotta see where everyone else lines up. Let's start with a C, and maybe we'll move Karate up. All right, Alberto, vintage regular, puts up pretty good results. Not as many top 8s as Karate, so I think we're gonna have to at least put them C tier, but I wouldn't put them in the bottom. It's not like they're Slash or anything. Yeah, I think we'll put them in like D doesn't mean you're bad. D just means you're lower on this list of players, and this list of players is some of the top 60 players on Magic the Gathering Online. We'll go with D for now. Zio. That's a top 8 competitor. That's someone who's always around the top 8. I think you would have to say lower than Karate though, right? You would have to put at least maybe more than Alberto. It's got to be close. It got to be close actually. We'll put it here for now. No props. This is your vintage trophy leader, the Hogak Master. I am a big fan of no props. The way they think about Hogak, very smart. I don't think that no props gets to play a lot of challenges, or if they do play a lot of challenges, I don't think they do. They don't have like the greatest results. But I feel like I don't see no props in challenges very often. I don't know why. But obviously a fantastic league player. I think you have to at least put down. You say really? Let's take a look. I have that information in front of me, which is really nice. No props. 19 top 32s. Not that many top 8s though. Less than 5 top 8s. I feel like you can't go higher than a B with the results though. I feel like you can't go higher than a B. But you do get props. You don't get no props. You get some props for being the vintage trophy leader, Hogak Master, right? Let's take a look. Let's go take a quick look. Vintage League. No props currently, 27 trophies. Yeah. I mean, no Cho Daemon, but, still. All right, Inuix. Zoomer. New to the format, Zoomer. Has some decent results recently. Couple top 8s. But could you really put them above Alberto? I'm not really sure. The Zoomer clan does love to support each other. What do you think, Bullwinkle and Jake? Where do you put your boy? Should we make a Zoomer tier? No shot. Lower than Alberto. Oh, the daggers. Yeah, we'll put him here. But let it be known, still got into this list, which is always good. Wizard 2002. Now that's a vintage Eternal Weekend champion. One of the best dredge pilots on Magic Online. Absolute end boss. I feel like an A. I feel like maybe a high B. Definitely higher than no props. But is Wizard a true end boss though? When chat plays against Wizard, do you get scared? Chat? I mean, you might get scared because it's dredge. This, I used to have Lord Beerus as the dredge end boss, but I'm pretty sure that Wizard is the dredge end boss now. Maybe Canister. Maybe Canister's the true dredge end boss now. I think we'll put Wizard at top of the B tier for now. Jacob is boss. Everybody's favorite 15-year-old. Twitter extraordinaire. Ranked as a buy by Bullwinkle at all times. Does Jacob get points over fellow Zoomer? Yeah, I think so. Right here? All right. Jacob, you're not last right now. Killer SUV. Now, not a Zoomer. One of the buffoons, but obviously one of the best players during the Luris metagame. Has proven post-Luris to be very... has proven post-Luris to have a lot of decent results. Makes some pretty decent decks with like the Ban Archon deck. I think you gotta give Killer SUV some points. The more I think about this, the more I kind of want to move down some more players. Maybe we won't have enough room. Let's put him top of C, bottom of C. I do like. I mean, Killer SUV was always the better of the two buffoons, right? But that doesn't mean that much in the scheme of things. Clone 9. Now, Clone 9 is a very interesting player. Clone 9, it's not close, Jake. It's not close. Whoa, not on Vintage. Bill's Live can't win a Vintage match to save his life. Come on, what are you talking about? I have no doubt that Bill's Live is a great Magic player. I've seen I've seen the results. They speak for themselves. But vintage, not a thing. Not after Luris went. Clone 9 is interesting because Clone 9 is a powerful wizard. Clone 9 is a trophy extraordinaire. Clone 9 plays some weird decks. Clone 9 is known to like put a Necropotence in their bug deck. Like Clone 9 does some weird stuff. Yeah, but queuing for the mocks just means you spike to showcase. That doesn't really mean that much. I don't really hold queuing for the mocks as like the end all be all. It's like more you want to have results over the course of like yes, Doom Mike, yes. You want to have results over a longer period of time. I know that Jacob likes to think Clone 9 very powerful wizard. I don't think Clone 9 is like an A tier and boss tier. But I do think it's like a no props wizard tier. Definitely put it above karate though, right? Yama and go get him. Now Mogg. Mogg is someone I don't have a lot of experience playing against, or if I do, I just don't remember. I just don't remember. Mogg has like 1,000,000 top 8s. Like Mogg has 11 top 8s. That puts them in 7th in 2020. I feel like maybe a B tier, maybe like they're clearly they do better than Clone 9 in these events, right? But I've never faced Mogg and been like, that's the one. Is Mogg a multi-format grinder? I'm not aware. I'm gonna put Mogg above Clone 9. Okay, all right, okay. All around good player. I mean, they're a good vintage player. They do very well. I just don't have like as much of a visual like representation of them in my mind. I don't know why. Mad Max. Now Mad Max is another solid regular, another high ranking, many top 8s. Let me just make sure I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, 9 top 8s. 9 top 8s is a lot of top 8s. Mogg's completely. What does that mean though? How can you be completely forgettable but very strong? What does that mean? I like Mad Max. I would put Mad Max above Clone. I think Mad is quite good. I think like one of the better Bazaar players. I don't think they're as good as No Props. Maybe. It's got to be close. It's got to be close. All right, I guess I'll save some time and just do this. Well, maybe here? Maybe here? No, definitely not there. Man, there's a sub game in this where you have to put the zoomers in the D category, but then you have to decide which zoomer is better than the other when they're all the same person, It's kind of tough. I feel like Inuix is going to be pretty mad if I put Wombo above him, but I kind of feel like I should, right? I mean, I don't know. It probably doesn't matter, right? It's just a bunch of zoomers in D tier. We'll leave it here, and then someone will get mad. No matter which way I put it, someone's in. I think that Jacob gets the run over Wombo. I've watched Wombo stream vintage. Yeah, Wombo has the most top 8s, but I've watched Wombo play, and I'm not really sure Wombo's play is the reason that Wombo has been top 8ing vintage. All right, actually, I've convinced myself. I've convinced myself. This is good. This is fun. I like this. Wombo carried by Jacob. Is it true? True statement? That'll make some people mad. All right. Gully. SUV. Better known as the Lumi expert. Gully makes some decks work that I just can't imagine anyone working. However, not the most results to back up the crazy like I feel like if we stuck Gully on some like reasonable deck lists, Gully would have a good time. I think Gully would have a good time. However, Gully gets to play Gully deck lists, which are they're fucking weird. I'm gonna put a Gully down here, but I do appreciate what Gully does for the format. Gully and people like Saturn, who are always like pushing the envelope on what you can play. I think like the most recent version of like the Welder Channeler deck was super cool. Like we 5-0'd with it. It was like doing some very powerful things, but Yeah. I think we'll put Gully down here. This player is very strong. I like them. I don't think they're. I don't do. What kind of what do the results say? Real quick, what do the results say? Six top eights. Six top eights. I think this is a strong player, and I think they're definitely above. Maybe here. I don't think they get to go in like the B tier, but I think they're a strong player for sure. No, there's a person who did a scrape. If you look here, this is top 32s. And then I don't have the other one up list, but if they're not in this list, it means they have less than 5 top 8s. So the second link is top 8s, and the first link is top 32s. Are we do a ranking by how rude they are? There's no rude players in Vintage. Come on now. All right. Lamp a lot. Michael Bond. Michael Bond, clearly a very powerful wizard. In terms of Vintage, though, and especially recently, hasn't had an easy time. I have a lot of props for Michael Bond as an overall Magic player, but recently in Vintage, it's been on a bit on the lower end, not the strongest results recently, and so I don't know if we can put them in B. It might need to be like C. I think Michael's really good, but I think in Vintage recently, not B tier status, and of course. When I say B tier status, I mean in terms of this group of players, right? Like when you put Jacob and Wombo and the Zoomers against the entirety of the Vintage field, I think they do pretty well, right? It's clear they do pretty well because they get a lot of top 8s. They do really well on the ladders and everything. So it does see. Well, we just haven't gotten to the A tier players yet. I have some A tier players. I have some things in mind. I do think that like. This is obviously in terms of these 60 players, and so you're gonna have some things that make sound like in general it's not as high as I would rate them, but like I think a lot of these players are very strong. I think all of them pretty much. Not me. Not me. I could see Mog being a bottom of A tier. I could definitely see that. I don't have a super big impression, so. I do think that you can get your results boosted by playing in the 3 a.m. events. I do think that is true. However, I think we need to at least put Not Me ahead of Jacob. I think that is at least something we need to do. I would feel very bad if we didn't put Not Me at least ahead of Jacob. I think this makes sense. Fanoop. Pete. Pete's a powerful wizard. I do think that Pete probably needs to tone down their experimentation. You guys think A tier? Really? You think N boss Fanoop? You play against Fanoop and you think N boss? Really? I don't think I agree. I think Fanoop's a fantastic player. But I was thinking like they won the Mox. This is true. If we're going by people winning the Mox over an LPL player, that also makes me an M-Boss, though, right? You don't want to go there, chat. I think Fanoop is I like that, Goggles. I like that. That's kind of how I think. I think Fanoop is definitely an A-tier Magic. Well, maybe not an A-tier Magic player. And it depends on who you're grouping in the list. But in terms of Vintage, I could see Fanoop doing better than Lamp. Yeah. We'll put Fanoop here behind Clone 9. I think that's pretty reasonable, to be honest. I want to get Fanoop on Underworld Breach. I feel like if we put Fanoop on Underworld Breach, they'd have much better showings. Like, I was watching Fanoop play yesterday's challenge. And they played 4 Island PO with Grim Monolith or something. Like, Fanoop goes off the walls, which is fine. You're allowed to go off the walls. But it does kind of hide your skill, right? Like, I think it's hiding the fact that Fanoop is, like, probably better than people think he is. Whereas when I play shitty decks, it's hiding the fact that I am worse than people think I am. Jose Ortiz. A definite vintage regular. I would put above Alberto, but I don't know about... maybe above Karate? Not above Karate. Maybe not above Karate. I like Jose. I think Jose is a smart player and a smart deck builder. And I think they have decent results, but not great results recently. I think we have to put him here. I think we have to put him here. Yeah, you don't want to like... It's about a whole year's worth of results, right? It's about overtime results. If you spike one tournament, like, that doesn't mean very much. I know, like, people, oh, you spiked a Mox. It doesn't mean very much. I guess Mox is 2 tournaments, but so it means a little bit more, but not. It's still like you want to look at the body of results, not one tournament, right? I'm gonna put Jose here for now. I could see it moving. We could move at the end when we get everybody in. Brian Kelly. I used to think Brian Kelly and boss. I don't know if I do anymore. Hey Jose. I think I think Jose's quite good. We'll put Jose here for now though. I don't think Brian Kelly's an M boss anymore though. I don't even know if they're B tier anymore. I love Brian. Brian has an excellent mind for the game. Knows vintage inside and out. Great player. But does hamper himself with his deck building decisions sometimes. Makes some interesting choices and has a problem with hatred for Bizarre. I think I'm gonna put Brian here. I have a lot of respect for Brian, especially if playing vintage. And if it's a paper tournament, I put him even higher, right? But in terms of Magic Online, and I think that's pretty reasonable. It might even be lower, but I might be clouding my judgment with post keeper fame or something. I don't know. I like Brian. I think Brian's really good, but I think it's here. I think it's here for now. All right, see, I told you, chat, we would get to the A tiers. I don't think this is a remotely contestable. This is one of the players you just don't want to play against. When you play against Andy, you're unhappy. You don't want it to happen. You want to dodge them until the top 8. They are great on multiple archetypes. Bizarre, Mishra's Workshop, can play blue if they need to. That's true. Let's fucking sorry. I just saw some things in chat and I wanna put Brian lower. I think this is fine. It's about recency, right? It's about right now. Yeah. I think this is like one of the players that like very solidly is one of the end boss vintage ringers that you just don't want to face. They're in all the biggest tournaments. They do well whenever they want, really. I have a lot of respect for their gameplay. Montolio's quite good at vintage, for sure. Montolio plays Bug pretty well. I don't think they play Bug at the same level that they play Bizarre and Workshop. Like, I think their Bizarre and Workshop play is exceptional. Where their Bug play is fine. It's good. So. Alright, Matt Murray. Deck builder extraordinaire. Powerful wizard. Not the most vintage recently, but when he does play vintage, he top 8s. Comes back, easy top 8. Personally, I want to put Matt somewhere in this B tier. I think if Matt was like less against vintage at the moment and like enjoyed it more and like worked towards playing or like played better decks more often, I feel like Matt would like easily be one of the emboss ringers. But I think as of right now, I want to put Matt. Like, I think Matt's better than Clone 9, right? I'll put Matt like here. I'll put like Matt here. Like that's a rating that I could easily see changing because Matt's like quite good, I think. Cherry X-Men. That's an interesting one, right? That's certainly an interesting one. Because I've watched a lot of Cherry's Doomsday streams. And I like their stream. Their stream is pretty good. And I think that they play vintage pretty well, but like watching the Doomsday streams, it does seem I feel like a lot of the top 8s were on the back of Doomsday, but not really on the back of Cherry. I think he's good. I definitely think he's good, but I don't want to say, like... Would you rather play against Cherry or Killer? I guess you'd rather play against Killer, right? Number-wise, Cherry is, like, near the top. But, I mean, I've had the luxury of being able to watch a lot of Cherry's matches, which does not actually help, I think, in this case. I like Cherry, though. I think Cherry's quite good. I'm going to put Cherry here. Maybe I'll put him above Karate. I don't think I can put him above Michael, though. Though he has much better results than Lamp has. Maybe I actually will. Maybe I'll put Cherry atop of C tier. Interesting. I didn't think that's where I'd end up putting Cherry, but it kind of makes sense to me. You can't argue with, like... I mean, to be fair, they did play a lot of 3 a.m. challenges, right? So... that is something to consider, right? All right, ABR. I like ABR. ABR is one of the first Japanese players who, like, reached out to me and, like, communicated with me, got me into their Discord. Really, really awesome person. In terms of vintage, they do pretty well. Not, like, outstandingly well, I would think, but they do put up results here and there. I think I'm going to put ABR down here with, like, the gullies in the world. Maybe near, maybe higher, somewhere in D tier. I think ABR is a good vintage player. I think ABR is better than the average vintage player. But when you start looking at this list, I don't think that they get to be... I mean, is ABR better than Jacob? I don't think that's, like, not unreasonable, right? More than I start thinking about people's names, and then I think, are they better than Jacob? Then they, they get to go a little higher. It just seems like that's where we end up. Yeah. I mean, I ABR simp for sure. No, I think we'll put him down here with Gully. I think that's pretty reasonable. I do think that ABR is a good vintage player, but in terms of this list is pretty competitive. Oh, Rusher. Now, Rusher is someone with results, if I'm not mistaken. Rusher does fairly well. Oh, actually, where are the top 8s? Not seeing them in the top 8. Maybe not as much of results as I thought. I thought they did pretty well in Eternal Weekend. You think Rusher is an A tier? I don't think Rusher's an A tier. I think Rusher's a B tier, lower end B tier, like a Clone 9 style. I do think that Rusher's decks are not great, but I do think Rusher's quite good. So I'm going to put them around Fanoop. You would like a clarification? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Well, I put you ahead of Wombo. Are you not happy about that? Like, you should take your victories where you get them, right? So, I mean, let's be fair. I don't know if I would put you on this list, but somebody thought you were strong, so you got put on the list, and and here you are. Casa. Now, Casa is a weird one, because I typically don't find Casa's decks to be quite very strong, but Casa almost always has results. Has a large number of Wombo. If you had never streamed, I probably would have put you above Jacob. But then I had to watch your stream, and you have to go below Jacob now. I could see this. Well, I'm gonna keep moving the zoomers around just so they keep yelling at each other in chat for the whole day, and then at the very end we'll put the final rating. All right, but back to Casa. So I do think Casa's quite good. I think Casa's like a Clone 9 style player where they put up decent results, but I don't really know about their deck choices. Probably worse than Fed Rusher, but maybe better than Fanoop. I think this is not an unreasonable place. Does anyone else has experience with Casa? I feel like they have some weird deck choices. I don't know. I think they're good though. I think they're pretty strong. I'm gonna maybe I'll leave them at the. I think they're quite good. I'm gonna keep them up here. Uh-oh, chat. Hold on. This one's worthy of a poll. This one. Should see what chat says. This player, not Discover N tier. I'll give him that. All right, chat. Where do you put I am actually level 1 on this chart? Where do you put I am actually level D tier? Twitch chat, you're hurting me. You're hurting me good, Twitch chat. S tier. Too funny. Twitch chat, why you like this? Oh, did I close the poll by accident? I don't think so. No, it's still going. Twitch chat, where is this I'm actually level 1 character go? Easy D. Classic, non-innovative variety streamer. Yeah, that's true. If it's a Justin poll, I am going to ignore the results. Got some B's. Got a lot of D's. I appreciate that. Some A's. So mostly around B, C range. On stream D, off stream A. That does help. I think that. So I typically have a lower opinion of my own skill than other people seem to, though I don't think I'm a D tier chat. I think that upper B tier is pretty realistic, right? Like, I put up a lot of good results, but I also I've knocked other people for deck choices, so I kind of have to knock myself for deck choices for real, right? Like obviously I do some of the deck choices for content, but I also I played PO for like 3 months longer than I should have played PO. If you just looked at certain results, you could be like, oh, maybe end boss, but in general, I don't really think that holds true. I think that my eye for what vintage is and what you should be doing in vintage is pretty good, but my technical play I've always thought is not at the top tier. So I would like to probably put myself along with somewhere with Matt. Maybe somewhere in B. But this is weird because I do think that I'm better than no props, but I don't know if I'm better than Mog. Maybe we need to put Mogged above. Maybe this needs to be here actually. I didn't rearrange no. I think no prop is good, but their results are not close to any of these players, right? I feel like you need to put no props back down here. I might have to go back and look at some of these because, well, kind of think it needs to be here actually. That's just kind of how it happens when you start the list and you need to reevaluate. Here? Yeah, I'm gonna go there for now. I'm gonna put myself here. I think it's pretty debatable though. I think you could put myself lower or higher based on your perception of my play. No Props doesn't play challenges, from what I can tell. And if they are playing challenges, then they don't have very many challenge results, in which case we probably need to put them maybe we do need to put them ahead of Brian. We'll put them down here. I think that's fair, actually. I just have a pretty high opinion on how they've iterated on Hogak, but yeah. Yeah, I think it's fine to put them down here then. So I'm gonna put myself. Let me put myself as the superior vintage streamer for now. But I could see myself being down here, or yeah, depending on what you think. I think that's pretty reasonable. Chat actually said B, so we kind of end up near the same place. I think this could be lower, but we'll just put it there for now. Amir, I think is good. I think Amir is quite strong. I think Amir is like Fed Rusher, maybe. Maybe I need to put Wizard lower. Maybe Wizard needs to be here. I don't think Amir's A tier. I don't think Amir evokes the same idea as Montolio to me. But obviously that's all within a rank, so I guess Amir kind of beats the shit out of me every time we've ever played, right? All right, we'll put Amir at the top of A for now, but I could see it going down to join the B players for sure. Thim? Thim's good. But I think Thim is down with... Down here, maybe? Or up here? Down here? Up here. Thim better than Brian? Maybe I'm just like completely off with this no props and I just need it to be down here. I'm so super sad about it, but I guess it must be... When you look at the quality of players that are here, you kind of have to do this. All right, I'm going to put Thim above no props, but below Brian. No, I'll put him up here. Put him up here. See? I draft the beats. I think Ben, I have a really high opinion of Ben, but I've also watched Ben play a lot of, not a lot of Magic, but like a decent amount of Magic at this point between the Italy trip and the streams. But I do think that I draft the beats is like... Man, I really think I need to put Lamp down here. We're gonna have to do a lot of rearranging. I didn't realize the we did kind of hit a lot of the zoomers first. I think that we'll put Ben with like Jose. I think they're like good vintage players who I don't want to play against. All right, I'm gonna put Ben there for now. Ben's gonna be sad about this rating, I think, but that's what we're gonna do. Medivh. They're pretty good, but I don't think they're like insane. Are they the multi-format grinder? I feel like I see their name a lot, but I don't think it's for vintage a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna put them like here, I think, with Alberto. I think of them like Alberto, where it's like a strong player. Put them around here with not me. Maybe here. I don't know. I think they're good. But they haven't had like that much challenge results in vintage. Yeah. Now, there's this like meme streamer. I don't think he's very good. He's just like a joking. He's basically a zoomer, you know. Maybe he's maybe he's better than Jake. This canister fella, like, he got the funny hair and all the jokes, but like, how good is canister really? Shit. Canister is fucking good at Magic. It's really impressive. Hasn't spent that much time playing vintage, but already has a pretty good grasp of what's going on and what the powerful cards are. Comes with a pretty fresh mind, I think, which is nice because a lot of players in vintage have ideas about cards that are no longer true. Like a lot of players who historically have vintage experience will be blinded by how good cards used to be, but not how good cards are at the moment. Like I think that if you give Canister enough time, then they'll be like even higher on this list. But I think given the amount Canister plays vintage, I think A tier is like pretty reasonable. Probably higher than Amir, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Think not? I mean, I think I watched Canister play a bunch now, and I'm pretty impressed. But do you think Amir is a better vintage player than Canister? Right now. Not in the future. Like if you give Canister another year of playing vintage on Magic Online, I'm sure it's like crazy, right? I think I want to put Canister on A, but I don't think I want to put Canister above Montolio right now. I think that would be not true. Amir, you got some fans. People in chat love Amir. I think Amir is fantastic. But Canister is the best Magic player on this list. I'm not disagreeing with that. There's no way I'm disagreeing with that. There's no way I would disagree with that. But I think right now, I think this is a fine place for Canister. Like I like the third best vintage player, maybe. I mean, Amir has good results. Goggles. Amir has actually pretty low top 8s, but Amir has like 6 top 8s, including an Eternal Weekend top 8, which is not on this list. I think Amir is fine here. I could put Amir like in this B tier though. Showcases, yeah. Yeah, do you mean he's gonna do better or worse with a basic island? I'm trying to figure out what Yama actually means by this. Is Canister going to do better or worse if you give them Basic Island Ancestral? I have multiple worse. Canister just abusing broken lands confirmed. Actually, just better than Jacob slightly. No, I'm just playing. Uro, oh no. Benny Boo. Now this is an interesting one because Benny Boo surprised me. Benny Boo has 10 top 8s last year. Or that's a lot. I don't know how much I've played versus Benny Boo, and I've seen the lists, pretty reasonable lists. I'm like pretty impressed with the play when I did play them, but I feel like I don't have a lot to go on here. I feel like a Fanoop kind of like a Casa, maybe Fade Rusher level player. I could be wrong though. I really feel like I don't have the greatest grasp on how good Benny Boo is, but I think. What does chat think? I'm interested to hear what chat thinks about this one. I mean, karate, it's impossible for me to know how many challenges people have played, right? So I don't know what people's conversion rates are. I can't know that. I know I look at every challenge and I have a decent idea of how much people play because I go through every challenge every weekend and I see it all on a piece of paper. So of the people who does know how much people play, I feel like I have a better grasp. But I feel like Benny Boo, I feel like it's pretty hard to put Benny Boo below Casa. But below Fed Rusher kind of seems reasonable to me. I think I'm going to put them here. I think they're pretty good. Slasher. Oh, Zoomer tier. Slasher has not had a good showing recently, but Slasher is also someone who thought Golo Stacks was the best deck in the format. So you got to get a couple points knocked off. I feel like it's Slasher below Wombo though. All right, Slasher, you're here. Slasher, tell me realistically, no, as the Zoomers say, no cap. Tell me where you think I should put you on this list. I want to hear it, Slasher. This is your opportunity to come clean to me with your true rating. Below Beaky, well, that's a given. You're going in the Zoomer tier, so that doesn't help you. It's a true statement, but it doesn't help you. Unless you think you're better than No Props, Alberto, Medivive. You think you're better than all of them. You have better results than everyone below BPK. That's not a true statement. Jacob, Jacob over Wombo. Yo, come on, Zoomers. You've watched Wombo play. Come on now. I think the question is if you go ahead of Jacob or ahead of Wombo. I think you're definitely ahead of Wombo. I feel like you might be able to. Jacob has a range. Slasher doesn't have a range. That's true. Jacob does play bad decks. That's true. Wait, why do we think that Inuix is better than these players, though? Do we really think that's true? Because I'm a fucking god? Okay, you know what? Fuck it. All right, we'll put Slasher there for now. We'll put Slasher here for now. I'll let him fight it out in the comments. Oh, J Pinter. Great stream. If you're not already following J Pinter's stream, I think it's J Printer MTG. Let me just check. J Pinter. Yeah, J Pinter MTG. If you're looking for more vintage content, good place to go. Plays some interesting decks. Actually plays a variety of formats as well. So definitely check out their stream. I would probably put Jay somewhere in the ABR SU survival gully category. I think that in the terms of like the large community of vintage, Jay's pretty good, but in terms of this list, it's a little rough. KFC chicken. They beat me probably 1000% of the time. However, I think you need to put KFC around here as well. I think ABR is probably, yeah, let's put them around here. A has-been tier. We can always put it in. We can change it. We're getting through. We have another match coming soon, so we're gonna have to finish this post-match, but this is going well. So this seems like it's gonna be a contested pick. Let me stop here for now, chat, and then we'll continue picking this up. We still have a lot of really strong wizards to go through, so this A tier is gonna fill out from what I can see down here. So, and we're gonna have to definitely rearrange at the end, because when you start like the people who were placed earlier in the the tier list, we have to probably rearrange. Bullwinkle's there. Oh, you just want to do it now to add out the Zoomers so you guys can fight it out in chat? All right. I think Bullwinkle is better than Wombo and better than Jacob and better than Slasher. And I'm not sure if... I really don't know how good NUX is, I guess. I don't think Bullwinkle... You think Bullwinkle's the... I mean, the best Zoomer is Goggles. Goggles is the best Zoomer, but Goggles doesn't really count. Goggles is a little too old. I'll put Bullwinkle here for now. Goggles is technically a Zoomer. Is 19 a Zoomer? Is someone who is 19 a Zoomer? No, Jen's... wait. If you're 19... Why? Zoomer's a state of mind, and Goggles is not a Zoomer in state of mind. So I guess we will not consider Goggles a Zoomer. What's your 18 to 21 your mid range? All right. Hold on. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this, chat. We'll come back to this. All right. We're back. This seems like... All right, I'm going to do this one first, because this one I think is pretty easy. I think Shere Khan is the second best player on Magic Online for Vintage. I have a really high opinion of Nico. Like, undoubtedly, no one is putting Shere Khan below A tier, but I don't know how you stack him up against Montolio. I think I would rather be on the Shere Khan side of things for sure. Yeah, absolutely insane player. Very, very powerful. Incredible range as well. Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment, right? I would probably rather play against Andy than Shere Khan, though I wouldn't be happy to play against either of them. Yeah, but we're talking about, I don't know, right now, Magic Online, Rafa. So I think this makes sense. But yeah. I agree. If we wanted to, you could put Shere Khan up here, but Discover End is our S tier. We need to leave Discover End in the S tier alone. So we're gonna leave it at like that. All right, this one seems like it's fairly controversial. Where is chat putting Andreas? I know some people in chat would definitely put Andreas at A tier. I'm thinking maybe start of B tier. I don't know. Andreas is obviously very skilled at Vintage. That's no question to me. There should be a Shere Khan tier. I do think Andreas is good. I don't have the same opinion as some people in chat, but I think recently Andreas has had a hard time, but I don't think you can put Andreas lower than like these players here, right? You would have to put them in Andreas at least like here. Do I think that I am better than Andreas? I don't know. Probably not. And I think Andreas is better. I mean, I clearly have not played enough matches for Smog, but I think I'm going to put Andreas here. I don't think I'm going to put... like at one point when I was playing Vintage, I think I would have put Andreas here. But I think right now, this is kind of reasonable. Yeah. The Deck 84. Powerful Italian wizard. Deck 84, I think, is actually quite good. The minute the Deck 84 stopped playing 2002 Grixis Tinker, they shot up very high in the rankings. They started top 8ing a lot of tournaments, winning a lot of tournaments, playing Breach. I think Breach is a perfect deck for them. It fits their wheelhouse really, really well. I kind of think like a Fanoop level is like pretty appropriate. Maybe it's more like right above Karate level. I do think of in the Italian versus Italian matchup, I would put the Deck 84 slightly higher. And I do think this Deck 84 is a better player than Sherry. How many actual top 8s do they have? Not as many. So I guess that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Though they just started playing real decks. all right. Maybe we'll just put it slightly above. We'll put them above Zio then. How about that? How about that? I think Goggles, you should play Breach. I think it's a much better deck. I don't know. Like, from the matches I've played against the Deck 84, I've been pretty happy. All right, maybe, and I guess if I think about it that way, I can't actually put them above these players. What about here? Does here make sense? I think here makes sense. I didn't rate myself. Chat rated me. We all know that I'm actually second place. Not above Discovering. Not above Discovering. I mean, that might be fair. Not me. That might be fair. I mean, they only play like, I guess that's fair. They only play Pyroblast decks, and I only play decks that are bad against Pyroblast decks. So that is a fair point. You bring up a fair point. All right. Where do you rate me, Rafa? Let's hear your opinion. Where are you putting me? Where are you putting me, Rafa? Let's hear it. I'm ready. Hit me with your best shot. No, it's not bad to be D tier. If you're on this list at all, it's a good thing. So don't worry about someone being D tier. It's not a bad thing at all. You guys have won like 2 tournaments in like the last month or something, and you got your head so big, you Zoomers. You're wildin' right now. I think Slasher is just mad that I put Bullwinkle ahead of him. I think that's what's going on down there. Otakun, I think, is better at other formats than Vintage. I follow Otakun on Twitter. They do pretty well in like Modern, I think, and Pioneer maybe. I can't remember exactly. But I think Otakun is like a C, or I mean, like, Otakun definitely has more results than No Propped, but probably less than. Let me quick check of the results. Actually, pretty high results. What about top 8s though? Not high on top 8s though. It's probably hard to put Otakun. Like, I feel like it has to be around here. I feel like you could put him above No Props though, maybe. I don't know. I think the Otakun's good though. Why is Brian so low? Because that's where Brian is supposed to go for Vintage right now. I think that's a true statement. Zai, I don't know. I always forget how to say this. I don't know how you say this. I think Zyrio is good as well, but also not very many results. Maybe here. Maybe, I mean, I think the Zoomers have like more results than Zyrio. I think Zyrio also plays other formats, right? Not 100% sure. I feel like putting these players that I have less interactions with on here is kind of unfair. I think they're better than KFC, AVR. Put them down here. Miharu, the Oath Goddess. Do you put Miharu in A tier? Do we put Miharu in A tier? I mean, the idea of an end boss, Miharu does fit that. I think Miharu being at the top of the the bottom of the A tier makes sense in my mind. Obviously, like, how good Miharu is doing depends on how good Oath is doing in the metagame, which is like not always the best. I think it's probably I think it makes sense, but I also think that, Like, they're like Wizard, right? They're like Wizard. They're a deck specialist who's very good at one thing. Like, I'm sure Miharu could play other decks. I've just never seen Miharu play other decks. But we don't care that much about archetype speciality. Like, a lot of these top players have specific archetypes that they're good at. I don't know. I think it's not unreasonable to put Miharu here. I think it's not unreasonable. But I could also see, like, here. Like, I think this is not unreasonable either. Like, when you think about it this way, this means, like, what? The 6th best player on Vintage Magic Online? Which I don't think is... Yeah, that might be true. That might be true. I think, like... it's tough to say. It's tough to say. I do wish that they would play a different deck and see how that would be. But I have a very high opinion of how they play, so... Yeah, Otakun, I don't know. It might be more like here. I could see it. I mean, like, no props is like no top 8s, right? We might have to redo the D tier. We might have to redo the D tier. We'll redo the D tier at some point. We'll redo the D tier at some point. I think I'm going to put Miharu here. It's my list. Y'all can put Miharu here if you want, but I'm putting Miharu here. Yurchik has had a great year. Yurchik has very quietly had a great year. Like 12 top 8s. Like, pretty powerful, actually. I kind of want to put Yurchik here right now. I think Adam's been very, very good at playing the best combo deck every week. Like, Breach, Doomsday, PO, whatever was the best combo deck at the time, they played very well, and they always do very well. I feel like the problem now is, like, if I put Miharu at A tier, I feel like I also have to put Condescend at A tier, right? Because Condescend, like, has much better results. I feel like you would have to put Condescend here. Like, Canister and Amir are the players with the least amount of results who are up here. I kind of have to do this. Maybe Amir has to be here, really, though. I kind of feel like it's up here somewhere. I have Amir as, like, a really solid player, but I didn't have Amir as, like, a standout A tier. Kind of think it would be, like, here. I think Amir is, like, fantastic. So I'm going to put Amir here. We'll redo D tier. Don't worry, Zoomers. You guys can jump each other at the very end, okay? There's no reason to get mad. Well, I have a couple other players. I think I have 2 or 3 other players that I'm considering for A tier, so... All right, we'll leave Amir here for now, I think. But I mean, like, Miharu and Amir, I really feel like you can't... I feel like you have to do this. Because when I talked about A, I talked about, like, true end bosses, insane number of titles, right? So, yeah, I know Karate's mad, but whatever. It's my list. Variety streamer, Neo brand, not Neo, whatever. fucking Ryan. Ryan's pretty good. I think Ryan's quite strong. I think better than Medivive. I think better than Alberto. Better than no props, probably, but that might be it. I feel like here maybe is pretty reasonable. Winged Hussar's a B in your opinion. Nice. So I also have, like, another problem where, like, I've seen, like, streamers always play worse than they actually are. And I have watched a lot of Ryan stream. Same thing with, like, watching Cherry. Like, it's hard to judge. Like, I think you can put Ryan here too. Like, I think that's fine. Put him below Wombo. No, he's not below Wombo. Lord Beerus. The used to be Dredge King. Unfortunately, no longer the Dredge King. Wizard is the Dredge King now. Lord Beerus, playing Jeskai recently, not as good as Lord Beerus on Dredge. I think Lord Beerus is quite a good Magic player. But right now, I feel like you have to put him like probably here, probably there. Yeah, it's like here or here probably. All right, Yama Killer. Lots of matches, not the strongest though. I think ID tier is pretty reasonable. I think Yama's a really good Magic player, or a pretty good Magic player. But in terms of vintage, kind of feels like just a lot of matches. No shot that Yama is better than the Zoomers. I don't think I agree with that. I kind of view Yama like here, maybe for vintage. This is specifically for vintage. I'm interested. It's interesting that Nico has Yama as a solid B tier. Right, yeah, Yama did come in here and say put him in D tier. Would you put Yama ahead of Beerus? I kind of would. Let's put him ahead of Beerus for now, and then we'll fix the D tier later. There are not many players worse than Wombo. Come on now. Let's put Yama here for now. Yama, you got some staunch supporters in chat. You love to see it. Goggles. I think Goggles is great. I think Goggles is like... Goggles has been in all the Moxes, right? And Goggles has done fairly well. I think Goggles is like one of these Clone 9 level strong players. Better than Fed Rusher? I think a solid B tier. I'm not 100% sure where on the B tier Goggles is supposed to go. I do think Goggles should play Breach or some other deck. I think the Goggles decks... Goggles used to play like a bunch of shops and do very well, though. So I know Goggles can play other decks. I do wish he would not play Hold Breachers and Urzas and those things, but... I think Goggles is like up here. I'm going to put Goggles... Maybe Goggles is lower than Bit. No, I actually think... I mean, getting to the Mox every single time... Like, whenever there's a tournament, it's always near the top 8 or in the top 8. Uh-oh. 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 This is gonna... It's good. Uh-oh. I think that Bryant's better than the Deck 84. Wombo's out to get him. I think Bryant has does play a lot, but also puts up a bunch of results, just to be perfectly frank, right? And I've watched a bunch of their videos, especially when PO was the deck to be played, and I thought they played pretty well. Wombo deserves B tier. Get the fuck out of here. If you watched Wombo's stream, we can't make this all about Wombo, chat. We gotta move on. Bryant would be higher if he learned to innovate. Oh man, Cho, why are you so funny? I think Bryant deserves to be... I think Bryant's better than Cherry. I think Karate might be too low because I don't know. I think I have a lower opinion of Cherry than everybody else. It feels like Bryant is like one of these players up in the B tier who is like always capable of winning the tournament, has good results. I think you like have to non-biasly put him pretty high, like decent amount of top 8s. I feel like better than Fanoop. Weird. Maybe it's possible. I feel Casa better than Casa. Sure, let's put Bryant here. I think this is a pretty completely reasonable place to put Bryant. Like you have to say like. You have to give credit where credit is due. And Bryant does put up results. Not recently, because he's still, innovating with PO, but... That's not true. What the fuck are you talking about, Mike? He has the same number of top 8s in 2020 as I do. But I have better non-challenge top 8s. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Get out of here with that shit. I think he's I think he's good though. I think he's good. I don't know. I think here is perfectly reasonable. Can you stop? Slasher, you've grouped yourself. Who is Shere Khan? Shere Khan is Nico Bani. 2 PT top 8s. I didn't know that until I Googled Nico Bani, and it was like, I'm a Hall of Fame ballot. Like, oh, that makes sense to me. It's Buster Bani. Good stream, too. Chill music. Magni 93 has good results when plays, but doesn't play a lot. I don't know how high I can put Magni. I do think Magni's pretty good, but not insane. I kind of view Magni like the Deck 84, like Breach Expert, who is like pretty good. Maybe down here is reasonable. Oh, I'm sure the Zoomers version is going to be weird. Yeah, I mean, you guys got opinions. You guys got opinions. There's a lot of people who have Eternal Weekend top 8s. There were 24 people with Eternal Weekend top 8s this year, so it kind of muddies how good an Eternal Weekend top 8 is when there are that many, right? Maybe not. Where's Geeky? We're only talking about people who play Vintage. Come on. I think Magni's good. But I think I'm just gonna put Magni here. I know people might have a higher opinion than I do on this, which I think is completely reasonable. Magni has some decent results recently, but yeah. Sing Pan Man. I'm interested to hear what chat thinks about Sing Pan Man. Sing Pan Man is the second best Doomsday player. Probably. I feel like you'd have to put Sing Pan Man at least in the B or high C tier. You probably want to put it somewhere in here with like the Bryants of the world, I would think. I think Sing Pan Man is quite good. They're not Discover N, but that's obviously not their fault. No one is Discover N. Besides Discover N. I think they're like a Goggles level for sure. I think around this area is fine. I'm gonna stop like caring so much about the exact placing because it's just too much work. I think it's a high B. Like I'm putting it here. I'm putting it here. I think you think Sing Pan Man's an A? Really? I do think it's weird because like I think this whole section is messed up because I would definitely change this order around. This order is like really hard. I think high B is like completely reasonable. They are above Miharu. I don't agree with that. I think this whole order is all messed up. I don't know how much I care about fixing it though. I definitely put them in B tier for sure. Above Canister? I think you're underselling Canister. Yeah, chat, you're underrating Miharu for sure. For sure. All right, I'm gonna put it here. Dazai is Yuta Takahashi, I think. I have a very high opinion of Dazai's play. Now, Dazai doesn't have as much top 8s as everybody else, but Dazai also doesn't play a lot as much as everybody else does. I want to put Dazai as like one of the highest B tiers, though. I think Dazai is like very, very good. And even playing Vintage, very, very good. I think, yeah, like obviously this list looks different if you talk about not Vintage, but we have to talk about exactly Vintage. I want to put Dazai like here. I want to put Dazai like here. I think Dazai is really good. I think the more Yuta plays, the even higher he can go for Vintage too. I think I don't know if anyone would argue that. Jer, the 62 card Dredge Specialist. I like their deck better than I like KFC's deck. I like not I don't know how you're supposed to say this. Gur? I like Gur. I'm gonna put Gear here. I think Gur is pretty decent, but 62 card Dredge Special, come on now. Very good at drawing 2 Bizarres, I'll have you know. Very good at drawing 2 Bizarres. Taniguchi? Taniguchi is actually... What is Taniguchi? I don't know. Does Taniguchi play a lot of challenges, chat? I know they play a lot of leagues. They play some amount of challenges. I kind of feel like definitely higher than no props, but I don't know if I not higher than 5 top 8s. Yeah. I think I'm down. I think I'm here. Smenian definitely has the issue of not playing very much Magic Online. Oh, I have to play? Oh no, you're Am I a Smenian simp? I don't think so. I don't think so. I've never faced Steve and been upset about being paired into Steve. Yeah, Steve is Steve. Yeah, Smenian is Steve Menendian. I think that the players who play online are going to have a lot different opinion than you do, Jim. And I understand why. Like, you have a lot of years of Steve doing very well in paper tournaments, being one of the better vintage players in paper. I think on Magic Online, especially in 2020, I don't really see how you could consider him higher than like any of the B tier players. Right? Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy. Like, I have respect for Spendian. I think Spendian's a good player. But I want to put him above the Zoomer. Everyone goes above the Zoomers. Maybe here. Maybe here. I don't know. I don't think he's as bad as Chad is saying. Here's fine. Here's fine. Alet, master of the Sunday morning top 8. Also, awesome data farmer. It was pretty good. Mox qualified, high number of top 8s, good consistent performance. I don't know why Steve ended up on the list, but Rich. I mean, Steve plays more than Rich does. We like Alet. We like Alet. How good is Alet though, chat? Is Alet better than the Deck 84? Probably. Is Alet better than BK right now? Maybe. Actually, yeah, I'm seeing it. I think Alet here, maybe. I think this is pretty reasonable. I think Alet's good. We'll put Alet there. PRG JJR, otherwise known as Jerry. Jerry's one of the better dredge players on Magic Online. I have a good opinion of Jerry. What kind of top 8s have we seen from PRG? Not a high number of top 8s though. I think I'm gonna put them down in the better than, yeah, probably around here. I think Jerry's good. Is Jerry better than Yama? Maybe Jerry's here. Maybe Jerry's in here. I think Jerry doesn't top 8 like at all. I like Jerry. I think Jerry's quite good. One of the best stretch players. I just said that. Is it because they don't play a lot? I don't really know. I'm gonna put Jerry here. I think that's fine. He doesn't actually have. I have the top 32 rankings, and he's not that high on the top 32 rankings either. I do feel like he gets 9th a lot, though. Actually, he's like fairly high, like 50th. I mean, I think he deserves to be on this board, but I wouldn't say that. Like, it's crazy. Han Chobe. Oh God, what does chat think about Han Chobe / Kenji TS / 20 burner accounts? Watched. 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 Yeah, not Han Chobe does not have the best PR. That is for sure. Han Chobe does not have the best PR. that I agree with. You don't have to give me that, chat. I am aware. I think Hanchobi is pretty good, though. I feel like they're pretty strong. I'm going to put them, like, pretty highly in C, maybe. Very clearly. No, they do pretty well in challenges. It's a little hard to tell because I'm pretty sure they played on, like, 3 different accounts. Actually, let me look at Kenji TS. The only accounts that I know for sure are Kenji TS and Hanchobi. And that's 15, so you combine them, that's 15. Combining them here is... No, it's still pretty good. It's not Kenji, no. I don't know why he named his account Kenji TS. Kenji TS is Kogamo. Also quite good. Yeah, I don't know which accounts they're playing on. They get banned every so often, and they play on a bunch of different accounts. Like, I think they're good. It's very clear that they do well. In my mind, I'll put them in C somewhere or B. Sure, whatever. That's fine with me. I don't really care, to be perfectly honest. So we're just gonna put that there. True Hero, they're kind of new to Vintage. Obviously, they had a couple nice shadow matches, but I don't think they're like... You can't really put True Hero like above the Zoomers yet. So put them down here. I don't know why this was included on this list, to be honest, because they're not really a Vintage player. Yeah, we'll definitely post the list later. And then P9, I think, is third or fourth. I don't think I put Justin ahead of Nico. I don't think I put P9 ahead of Nico. I don't think I put Justin ahead of Nico. I think you have to put Justin here. Obviously one of the most powerful Vintage magicians for sure. I'm gonna put them here. I think it's fine. Yeah, I'm not mad if you place them one higher or one lower. All right, so let me quickly go through this and make sure everything makes somewhat amount of sense. Amir, yeah, these are all fine. I'm not gonna order, like, they're kind of in order, but I'm not gonna care too much about being in order. Whatever, this is fine. I think Zio has to go down here. Killer SUV has to go down here. Graph the B. I think Brian has to go down here for now. Maybe here. I think right now you can't actually say Brian is... I mean, here. I mean, I feel like you have to have wing to the bottom of this, and then Karate should get chat. Chat. Yeah, I don't really feel like ordering these. You all get to sit in the D tier together, Zoomers. You guys can battle it out between each other. Who gets to be ahead of each other. I don't really care, to be honest. All right, this is where I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it here. Lock it in. Sunday does, yes, you have to view Sunday challenges in a different light because they are smaller and I think typically have a little weaker competition. But I think this is where we're leaving it, chat. Save. I hit save. Title of the tier list. Vintage MTGO player tier list. Download image. Save. Done. It's locked. It's locked. Now, like I said, if you're on this list, it means somebody put you on this list as they think that you are one of the better players on Magic Online. And even if you're a D tier on this list, it means you're a D tier among the top 50 or so Magic players on Magic Online, which is nothing to be ashamed of. Also, I do think that everyone on this list is quite good. So, I think this is pretty reasonable, and I had some fun doing it. I think it's pretty... I think that the first 10 players on this list, first maybe 8, maybe 9, 10 players on this list, I would agree are like, they're cut, right? They're cut above. They're what you don't want to face. And like, I don't actually know if like this is a good place to put me. I could put myself lower, I think, but I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Uh, Not me just says I rate people who play decks that beat PO higher. I don't think that's true. You know that every deck beats PO, so there's no one that I would rate lower. I'm rating everyone too high. I mean, do any of your Zoomers actually think that you should be on the C tier? Maybe they do. They have pretty high opinions of themselves. There are only 50 vintage players. That is statistically untrue, as there are about 1,000 vintage players. I actually have the numbers for that one. In vintage challenges over 2020, there were almost 2,000 vintage players. So the idea that there are only 100 vintage players or 50 vintage players is obviously incorrect. I gave up on ordering. The ordering thing, Slasher, is pretty much impossible. It's too much work. Yeah. So this is where I'm gonna end it. I think this is a pretty good place to go. It was fun, and thank you everybody in chat for helping me along and making the list and giving me players to put on the list. If you see any name on this list, you know that they play like some vintage and they know what they're doing. So a good list of players to watch out for at the very least, even if some of them are crazy Zoomers who think they're the best.